Welcome to Secrets to Alignment with Savannah Schaffer. I am here to equip you with the belief and energy to make your dreams a reality. Take this time to fill your cup and align with the most vibrant version of you.
Hello, and welcome back to the Secrets to Alignment podcast with your host, Savannah Schaffer. I am so stoked to chat with you guys today because your girl has just put together the most juicy podcast episodes that are about to be coming up these next couple weeks. And I am just feeling so in the flow right now. I have so much to share with you guys. I have so much to pour into you. I feel like these next few episodes could literally change so many people's lives just by hearing these. And I'm just so excited. So hi, hello. I hope that you are doing amazing. I hope that the sun is shining so bright and you are feeling your absolute best. You are healthy. You are feeling wealthy today. This podcast episode is something that I've really created just from my heart to yours because I have been through all of these situations that I'm about to get into, and I know how much it would have supported me hearing this exact podcast episode when I was going through these different events in my life. So on the theme of money mindset, we have been diving so deep into money mindset recently, and that is because I have an incredible free masterclass coming up in March. I'm creating a waitlist for it, and I know that if you are benefiting from these episodes, you want to be there. You guys have been to a lot of my masterclasses. Some of you guys have been to every single masterclass that I've ever hosted and walked away always like, I don't know how that was free. You gave so much value. You guys truly love my masterclasses and I love doing them. It's like my time to just pour into you guys and help you continue to change and evolve and upgrade your financial reality or whatever it is that I'm talking about on that specific masterclass. So today I want to talk to the girl who is sitting there constantly saying to herself, I never have enough. You're always worried about how much money is left in your bank account. You're maybe jokingly saying, I feel broke right now, or maybe you're trying to actively think better and think more positively or, change this financial reality for yourself, but you're just not seeing the results physically in your bank account. Maybe you find yourself staying awake at night, literally losing sleep over how much is in your bank account, how you're going to be paying your bills, how is everything going to come together, how are you going to figure things out. Maybe you're finding yourself just super stressed about finances and you're wondering, how am I ever going to reach the financial goals that I desire? How am I going to actually accomplish those things? Maybe you're setting new financial goals, but you're not actually hitting them. Maybe every single month you're wanting to put more into your savings account than you are. Maybe you're just not even paying attention to the money that's in your account because you just simply don't want to look at it. You're just kind of avoiding it. Trust me, I get it, okay? And there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. This is what makes us human. Like, this is completely normal. It is what every single human being has probably experienced at some point in their life. And it's completely normal. It's human. It's what makes us human. Like, if we didn't have these experiences, then, we wouldn't actually be here. So this is just part of life. And what I love about money mindset and changing your financial reality, your identity, your reality as a whole, is that you can upgrade these things. You can change your financial reality. It does take a specific kind of work, and that's what we're going to get into in today's episode. So first and foremost, I just want to set the stage so that you are really, really clear that your financial reality, it is a direct result, a direct reflection of the thoughts that you are thinking on a daily basis, as well as the frequency that you are emitting on a daily basis. So you can think positive thoughts, but you can be internally not feeling positively. You could be like saying, I feel so abundant, but internally your nervous system is freaking the fuck out and is like, how are we going to pay our rent? How are we going to pay our bills? And this is something that I went through personally back in 2020. It was when I had my own apartment, and then 2021 came and my income started to take a little bit of a dip. I started to make a little bit less money, and I was saying all of these things out loud. I was saying, I am abundant. I am manifesting more money. I was saying all the things, but my reality was not reflecting that, because internally the frequency that I was like sending out to the universe was that I was fucking scared shitless. I was scared that I was going to have to move back in with my parents, or that I wouldn't have a place to live, that I wouldn't be able to pay my bills, that I wouldn't be able to pay my rent. Like, I was internally freaking the fuck out, even though on my way to the gym, I was like, I have $100,000 in my bank account, and I was like constantly reaffirming what I wanted my reality to be. Internally, it was not there. Like, I was in a scarce place. I was in lack. And no matter how many statements I said, no matter how many affirmations I said, that reality was not going to change, because it takes more than just that. So likely you are experiencing this current experience because of one of two things. Either A, you were around poverty, you had poverty experiences like growing up. You maybe watched your parents' car get declined. You were not able to pay for your bills, or you had your needs met, but you didn't have anything more than that. And there was just always like just enough to get by, but never an overflow, never an abundance. That's person A. Or person B, which you might be a combination of the two, but person B is somebody who had maybe financial means whenever you were growing up, like you were fine, you were taken care of and all the things, but then growing up, maybe you had a teacher tell you that you were never going to be successful. Maybe you failed your classes throughout school, so then you never thought that you were going to be good enough. Maybe there was something else in your reality that was constantly telling you that there's no way you have what it takes to succeed. And so what that has done, either one of those experiences, they actually imprint on us. They leave an emotional scar. And you've been putting a Band-Aid over this emotional scar with positive thinking. You've been thinking your way to abundance, thinking that that's actually going to be the thing that changes your reality. But the reality is that's not enough. Positive thinking alone will not allow you to change your life. The way to change is to actually emotionally rewire yourself. Completely rewire the way that you've seen those experiences and the experiences that you are currently having now as a young adult. This is healing. And if right now it's really, really hard for you to even think about these things, if right now you are feeling super uncomfortable even discussing finances, or you notice that anytime you get in a conversation with someone and they bring up money that you got like really antsy or you don't feel comfortable anymore, completely understand. It's completely normal, especially with the experiences that you've had. But this is a very clear indicator that work needs done here. And we have to take responsibility to do this work so that we can get onto the other side of it. Because the other side of lack and scarcity is freedom, is what we all fucking want, is more peace. When you don't have to stress about finances anymore, trust me, I have been on both sides of the spectrum. I have been in a place where my entire reality was consumed by how much money was in my bank account, because I was so fucking terrified that I wouldn't have enough. And not only in 2021, but that has happened in another time of my life as well. And I was legit crying at the fucking kitchen table. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do anymore. Like, I don't understand why these things aren't changing. And that is the exact reason why I am telling you that when you are on the other side of it, oh my gosh, like the peace that you get to experience when you can go book a flight, or when you can go take care of your family's dinner, or you can contribute a little bit more to your family, or whatever the hell it is that you are excited to do in your life, for your goals. It could be going to buy yourself a Gucci bag. Like, I don't care what it is. when you have the options, the opportunity, the freedom to do those things, life is so nice. Like, I'm not saying that money heals all your problems whatsoever, but it does allow you to have more options, more peace. It allows you to give more to others, and without it, you can't do those things. So I just think that I don't want to put money on a pedestal ever, and I don't think that it's more important than like love or anything else in your life at all. But it does help. And I know that every single person listening to this podcast wants to make more money, because I don't honestly think that you'd be connected with me if you didn't. Like, I am connected with the women who are very fucking ambitious and have big goals and big dreams. Like, we are not little girls who are just okay with staying where we're at. No, I want big fucking things. Like, I want to own a private jet because I want to own a private jet. Like, I want to do really, really big things in this lifetime. And I know if you're listening to this podcast, you do too. So if you want to start to get a handle on this, I'm going to give you some actionable steps. But first and foremost, I want you to pause this episode right now, and I want you to go DM me money on Instagram, okay? This is going to add you to the waitlist to this upcoming masterclass that I would love to have you a part of, because I know that you want more for yourself, and it's okay to want more. I give you permission to want more. You should fucking want more, because the more that you have, the more that you're able to give to others, the more that you're able to give to yourself and to the people that you truly love. And I love that. I love that for you, and I want you to have that. So go ahead and DM me the word money. I'll add you to the wait list. This will actually help you with changing your financial reality, upgrading your financial set point, actually allowing you to receive more and get out of that scarcity, that lack mentality, let go of those behaviors, patterns, thought patterns that are no longer serving you, and actually step into the most abundant season of your life. Okay, so go message me money on Instagram. So back to the original statement that I said starting out this podcast. In order to have quote unquote enough, if you're someone who's saying like, I never have enough, if you want to have more, then you need to make more. I am somebody I'm not a fan of budgeting. I'm not a girl who budgets. I know that this might tickle some people's feathers, but I don't like budgeting, because to me, budgeting feels limiting. Instead, I entertain, how can I make more? How can I help more people? How can I serve people in a greater way, in a deeper way? How can I provide more value through my services? And that to me is my way of, it's kind of like backwards budgeting. Budgeting to me, I've done budgeting in the past. I just felt very limited by it. I felt like I needed to be super frugal, and I just didn't like it. I did not like the energy of that. Instead, I created like a backwards budget of how much money I want to be making. If I could be living my dream life, if I was living my dream life, I would have a massage every single month. I'd have a facial every single month. I would have the abundance to treat my family to a family dinner one time a month. I'd have the abundance to take Ty and I out on a date night. I would have the abundance to do so many different things. So instead of making a budget, I set a goal for myself of, this is the set point, the new financial set point that I would like to get to in order to experience all that life has to offer. Like, to me, those are experiencing so much more of life, being able to have those experiences in my life. So we don't budget, we make more money. That's how I do things, at least. You can do things however that you would like to. But I will say that maybe what you've been doing hasn't been working. Maybe that's why you're listening to this. It's because what you've been doing has not been working. So I want to give you some different ways to approach this, because like I said earlier, if it was all about making more, if money was, what the heck? If making more money was all about working harder, putting in more hours, putting in more reps, I want you to take a moment to entertain yourself for a moment and think about the people who are working 3 shifts in a day to keep a roof over their heads, to feed their children. Those people would be making the most amount of money, right? And honestly, they should be. They absolutely should be, because they are working the hardest. But that's not how things work. That is not how this reality is. Our reality is beyond what our minds can, or what we can see and what our brains typically can conceive, because we are playing in this 3D realm where everything has to be like physical and tangible for it to be making sense to us. But when you start to get into science a little bit more, when you start to get into quantum physics a little bit more, you start to understand that money is just energy. The same way that this chair that I'm sitting on is just energy right now. The phone that I am recording this on is energy. Energy is atoms floating around, okay? I'm not a scientist, so don't fucking quote me, okay? But I do know what I'm talking about. I will say that, and you can go research it yourself. But I might say that something's wrong, and you need to accept me and love me for it, okay? All of these little atoms are bubbling around in this little space, and they're buzzing, 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 buzzing. And that is what allows us to have tables, chairs, cars, everything in our reality, okay? Money is also that. Money is responding to us. It is responding to the frequency that we are giving off. And that frequency is being given off every single time you jokingly say, I'm broke. Every single time you jokingly say, I don't have enough. Every time that you repeat things that are not positive, that repetition, our brain is tracking repetition. It's not tracking what is true or false, what's a joke and what's not. If you constantly repeat something and you charge it with an emotion, so let's say you're repeating, I never have enough. And internally, you're like freaking the fuck out. Your stomach has dropped. You have so much anxiety. You're getting really, really in your head. And now all of a sudden, like you're in this flurry of victim mentality, sadness, anger, frustration, whatever it is that you're experiencing. That thought has now been charged by an emotion. And now that frequency is being sent out, reinforcing scarce, reinforcing lack, reinforcing this broke mentality once again. And then you wonder by the next month, you don't have enough again, because you're constantly reinforcing this reality that you no longer want. And I will say again, it's not just about changing the thought of like, oh, I am abundant. No, it is about changing those beliefs that have been passed on to you, that you have been literally thinking about for the last 20 years of your life. You have to start to unwire. You have to start completely rewiring the way that you view money, your emotions. You have to start living so much more intentionally so that you can send out a frequency of abundance, no longer letting those little comments slip from your mind or slip from your mouth, and taking control, because wealthy people would never say those kinds of things. They understand that what they are saying, they also are contributing to the reality they are experiencing. So if you would like to attract more, you need to be very intentional, very careful with what you're saying and what you are feeling, most importantly. Okay, and we're gonna dive so much deeper into this in this money masterclass that I'm gonna be hosting in March. I'm so excited for this. If you want to upgrade your financial reality, you want to be here. You want to be there taking fucking notes, paying attention to every single sentence, because I know so many of you guys are about to have the biggest breakthroughs. I hope that this is hitting home with you. And if you have any questions, if you want me to dive deeper on anything that I talked about in this podcast, send me a message on Instagram. I'm always here to answer all of your questions. I appreciate you. I cannot wait to see you in the next one. And I will talk to you next Monday. Bye.